The National Trust is famous worldwide for its amazing properties, but its gardens and its landscapes are equally spectacular. I'm Jane Moore, and in this series with the National Trust's official partner STIHL, I'll be going behind the scenes to meet the people that maintain and manage these amazing places. Today I'm here at Polesden Lacey in Surrey in the southeast of the UK, and we'll be looking at a rose garden that's undergoing a very thorough renovation. We'll be seeing some super herbaceous borders, and we'll be looking at hedges and trees. But first, let's meet the head gardener, Natan. Hi, Natan.
Hello, Jane. Nice to see you.
It is so lovely to be here. So tell me a little bit about how this garden came to be.
Well, Mrs. Greville bought the place and she wanted to create a very impressive, very fabulous Edwardian garden for her to entertain her royal guests.
Absolutely. She was something of an influencer, wasn't she? I think we'd call her in modern day parlance.
Absolutely. She was all about the high society.
Yeah. She was quite an interesting character, wasn't she? She was somebody that I think would have been a leader in modern society, but she used her influence and cultivated politicians and celebrities. And really, this place was a bit of a backdrop for that, wasn't it?
Exactly. Nestled in the Surrey Hills, it's a beautiful place to go for walks down the long walk after dinner, for example.
And have intimate chats that might be rather influential.
Yes, absolutely.
But there are other elements to the garden, aren't there? There's lots of little places that people could meet and chat and things like that.
Yes, for example, in the formal gardens we have the rose garden, which is the jewel of the gardens really, and it was somewhere that Maggie Greville really liked taking her guests.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to seeing it.
Well, let me take you there.
Great, let's go now. So you've got some lovely varieties here, Nathan.
Why, thank you. Yes, we have Floribundas, hybrid teas, and Musk, and of course for ramblers.
Yeah, and there's lots of them clothing these lovely pergolas.
Yeah, I love ramblers because of their amazing growth habit.
Yeah, but despite all this loveliness, you have got a few problems going on here, haven't you?
Yes, well, historical rose gardens often get some problems, mostly due to the fact that they're a monoculture.
A single variety in one bed and then another single variety in another bed.
That's right.
And that leads to a bit of a hotbed of pests and diseases, doesn't it, really?
Exactly, and building on that, roses used to be bred for their blooms. They're not really bred for disease resistance, so they've been sprayed with fungicides and insecticides for years upon years upon decades.
All things that we don't really want to do now.
No, exactly. In horticulture nowadays, we're thinking a lot more about soil health.
And you have got some really sparse beds, haven't you?
Exactly, yes. So you can see here the losses that we've had, and up to 50% of the roses have just failed.
You've put in some green manures, which I am absolutely fascinated by.
Yes, so after consulting with a rosarian, Michael Marriott, and soil scientist, we decided that green manures were the most sustainable way of kickstarting the soil health because they provide a habitat and a food source for all of those microorganisms that keep your soil healthy.
Yeah, and they're looking lovely. I mean, that Phacelia just looks gorgeous, doesn't it? It's one of my favourite flowers.
Yes, well, I think they look better than the roses.
And they're doing wonders for the insect populations as well, but presumably there's stuff going on under the ground that I can't see.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the problems we've had here in this rose garden is a build-up of phosphorus.
Right.
Due to all the horse manure and chemical fertilisers.
So people mulching and feeding year after year, decade after decade has actually caused problems.
Yes, serious problems, because excess phosphorus is very difficult to get rid of.
Right. I mean, most people would just naturally think if a rose is not doing well to pop a bit of mulch or a feed on it, but that's not necessarily the answer.
Not always. There's a variety of things we need to do with our roses. Choosing healthy, robust rose species, underplanting, diversify your mulching regime, all of these things will help.
So, when you replant these beds, will you be going for the monoculture again, or will you underplant?
We will have to underplant. We need to think more sustainably going forward.
Yeah, and you really want that mixture of plants as well, don't you?
Yes, diversity is key.
Yeah.
And that brings us nicely on to the herbaceous borders, where are full of diversity.
Yes, absolutely. I've heard a lot about the double herbaceous borders, and so I've so got to see them while I'm here.
Let me point you in the right direction.
Thank you. Hi, Lewis.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Lovely to be here and see these beautiful borders.
Yes, it's a wonderful time of year to see everything in full growth.
Yeah, they are some of the most famous parts of this garden, aren't they?
They are indeed. This is one of the areas that was designed by Graham Stuart Thomas.
Ah, no, I tend to think of him as more of a rose man.
He was indeed known for his roses, but he also helped with herbaceous plants too.
Right.
So one of the things that he wanted to do with these borders was to move away from traditional herbaceous borders that required a lot of staking and plant support in favour of plants that can sort of stand on their own.
Hold themselves up, like this Nautia.
This is a wonderful plant, really, really good for the bees and pollinators, and doesn't require much deadheading.
No.
And provides a fantastic amount of colour.
Oh, and they just keep on flowering, don't they?
They do indeed, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful plants. I love them to pieces. So he chose a lot of the plants that are in these borders.
Yes, he redesigned the north side borders, and then the southern borders were reinstated by Emma McNamara back in 2012.
Are a lot of the plants repeated through the borders? Well, that's kind of quite a classic thing to do with long borders like these, isn't it?
The planting on the southern border is slightly differing from the north side, as there is slightly more shade and it's also a lot wetter.
Right.
But yes, everything is planted in drifts in order to repeat the colour all the way down the borders.
So have you been letting a few things self-seed as well? I can spot a few poppies around.
Yes, we have a few poppies that pop up every year, and we just let them sow seed naturally, along with other sort of biennials such as foxgloves and hollyhocks.
Lovely. So you end up with a nice mixture that you haven't kind of quite planned for.
Yes, and it looks a bit more natural.
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm also quite interested in having a look at is the meadow, which is another mixture that's kind of natural.
Yeah, well, if you carry on that way towards the other side of the house, you'll be able to see the historical Bagden Drive, where we've been doing quite a lot of meadow work.
Oh, that's what I want to see. Thanks very much, Liz.
See you later.
Hi, Harriet.
Hello.
I'm loving this meadow. It's really developing, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. Yeah, it's been a really cool project to get involved with here, where we've started over the last few years transforming this.
Yeah, so it was just mown grass, wasn't it, I believe?
Yeah, it was really short mown grass. Sort of over the last few years, we've been experimenting with doing kind of different cutting regimes. We've sown some wildflower seed.
Is that what you were looking at, the yellow rattle
that's
seed?
right.
Yeah, because I imagine, are you going to collect some of that a little bit later in the season and re-sow it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's really important within meadows, to try and keep down some of that really strong grass.
That's what it does, doesn't it? It semi-parasitises and reduces the vigour so that more interesting wildflowers can get in, have a chance. And you are getting some more interesting species, including some real stars of the show.
Definitely, yeah. So these have come up naturally since we started properly maintaining this area as a meadow, which is pretty cool.
Marvellous, isn't it? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen so many pyramidal orchids.
I know, yeah. And each year they are spreading, which is brilliant.
You can see that because some of them are really quite little, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they're obviously really happy with whatever regime you've got going on at the moment. And then you've got some slightly less spectacular, but also really important wildflowers coming on and things like this.
Absolutely.
The bird's foot trefoil.
That is gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, I love this.
I do too.
And a really important plant for wildlife.
It's one of the food plants for the caterpillar of the common blue butterfly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and the common blue is actually not that common, is it, anymore? So it's really, really good that you've got some going.
Yeah, just about increasing the amount of diversity that we have, and that in turn increases wildlife massively.
What I really like about this is that you haven't sort of, stripped off the soil and resown. You've just you're letting it kind of evolve in a really natural way, which I think is lovely.
I think generally with meadows, that is the way to go. And then kind of slowly, and in terms of how that works with nature, that is kind of the most sympathetic way to do it as well.
Absolutely.
So work with what you've got.
And it's interesting because sometimes you can introduce things like the yellow rattle and the bird's foot trefoil, but sometimes things just introduce themselves. Like I don't imagine you can't really get orchid seed, can you? So I don't imagine for a moment you've sown these. They have just appeared by themselves.
Well, exactly, yeah. I think it takes 5 years for a seed to become a flowering plant.
Right.
So it's quite a long process, but absolutely like worth it in the long run.
Oh, absolutely. But you don't need loads of space to do this, do you?
No, exactly. And I think this is what excites me so much about working in these spaces, is that we can kind of inform and educate all the brilliant number of visitors that we have coming here, that, you can do this in your own garden. And especially now, in the middle of a biodiversity crisis, this is so important. So it's not only beautiful, but also we're making a home for all of that wildlife that we really need to be supporting right now.
Thanks so much, Harriet.
Thank you, yeah.
Hello again, Natan.
Hello, Jane.
You have got so many lovely hedges and trees here that I thought I've got to find out a bit more about them before I go.
Yes, well, they're a very important part of this garden, especially the pleasure grounds.
Yeah. They really frame it, don't they? Give it a structure.
Yeah, exactly. The structure of the trees and shrubs is super important in a garden like this.
And you've been doing a lot of work on these hedges, haven't you? Because I don't think they were in the best of condition when you first arrived.
A lot of them were very overgrown, so we've been renovating them slowly but surely.
Yeah, and what does that involve? I mean, I can see you're just giving them a light trim here just to keep them in shape, but I think some of them have demanded a bit more attention than that, haven't they?
Yes, that's right. Some of them we've had to reduce by almost 2/3 to bring on new growth. Eventually it will green up and look fabulous, and it will be easier to maintain thereafter.
Absolutely, and it will give you that lovely sort of flat, straight finish.
Absolutely, yeah. Sharp edges, sharp lines, draws the eye and keeps everything looking really good here.
Yeah, really tip top. Well, I better let you get back to it. There's a meep over there that's demanding your attention, I think. Hi again, Lewis.
Hi.
Are you doing a spot of pruning?
Yes, I just was going to be doing some crown lifting.
Oh, great. I'd love to actually see what you're going to do, because it's always something that makes me a little bit nervous, crown lifting.
Well, as I say, it's an important thing to do in order to lift up the canopy to allow in more light underneath the tree, but also it opens up the historical viewpoints.
Absolutely, and even at home I think it's such an important thing to do, because this time of the year a lot of trees tend to sort of start dropping a little bit and sort of lowering their branches, don't they, like this one is doing. And it always makes me a bit nervous, because once you've cut it off you can't put it back, can you?
No, but as long as you take your time and lift it gradually, then you can see exactly where the tree wants to be.
Yeah, you've really inspired me to go home and have a go at my trees at home, Lewis. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining us here at Polesden Lacey. I hope you've got some inspiration as I have. And for more tips, tricks and ideas, please subscribe to the STIHL GB YouTube channel. See you next time.